Hello, it's Dr. Rowe here, talking to you about a subject relating to parenting. It's a question that's been coming in, and I don't know if you watch or listen to the Growth Tribes podcast that I have with Harminder Toor. It's certainly a subject that's going to be coming up very shortly on that as well. I wanted to share this with you because as a parent of two children, two beautiful daughters, I know exactly what it's like to be in that space where it's like, I want to be the best parent. How can I be a best parent? Are there any hacks to this? And as I'm out in front of audiences, when I used to speak before I became a parent, it was never really a subject that came up. But as a parent over the years, it comes through me as a speaker, and I make reference to my children, their journey, my journey as a parent. And so the kind of questions that I get now are different to the questions I used to get, meaning that now people are asking me specific questions about parenting. So I want to tackle this subject whilst we're here, how to be a great parent. And bear in mind, these are my beliefs, my experiences, and I'm bringing into this a lot of the personal development work, the relationship work, the interventional work that I've done over the years. So I would say, if you're listening, take a pen and paper. I want to go through three things with you. And whilst we're doing it, remember that these are just my beliefs. You don't have to take them. You can just listen to them and say, you know what? No, that doesn't fit for me. Or actually, that kind of makes sense. And maybe I need to think about that and process it and apply it. Or it might be you take, one out of the three things that I'm going to share with you right now. So how do we become the best parent? How can we become better parents to our children? The first thing is, I'm going to say to you, you got to sort out this and you got to sort out this. Meaning each of us carry with us a residual emotional connection, significant emotional reactions, significant emotional responses to, or even beliefs or responsive sets of values to situations that occurred to us when we were children. Meaning that we've inherited a lot of our own parents' behavior patterns, beliefs, values, operating systems, views of the world, model of the world, if you want to talk from an NLP perspective. And we inherited them early, years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as we got older, we would have either rejected them or inherited them, not just at one level, but to a completely different level. So what you've got to do, and this is what I've discovered, is you almost have to approach this with a blank canvas. And I don't mean, just go into this randomly. What I mean is ask yourself the question, and I'm going to use the word hang-ups. What hang-ups, what negative beliefs, what fears, what cautionary behavioral patterns, what values do you possibly have right now that come from a wound or experiencing something. A classic example is money, for example. If you've watched your parents struggle with money, you may have a set of beliefs that almost are fearful of or resistant to ideas, opportunities, etc., or make you very, there's lack and abundance, there's scarcity and abundance, make you come from a very scarce place where you're almost holding on to things. And I've seen this in families where one person just holding on to everything and they literally don't want to let anything go at all. And why don't they want to let anything go? Because basically they don't want to risk losing it because they saw their parents do it. So what I discovered is, in order to be the best parent I can be, I need to be the best person that I can be, and that comes on working on you. Who are you? Where are you now? What values do you currently hold right now? What sets of beliefs do you hold right now? So that you can look at them and go, some of these are great beliefs. The one about health, brilliant. The one about money, great. Relationships, not so sure. I had challenges recently in my relationship with my wife, my husband, and actually some of that's a mirror of what I did with my parents. Shit. That's going to transfer to my kids. So and I'm not going to go there right now, but I can tell you that I've done a lot of work, deep unconscious work, not just on me, but with other people. And there is a form of language that occurs between adults and children in an unconscious way. And I've witnessed it being decoded. I've seen it both on myself and other people. And I actually did an intervention years ago with a couple, and whilst we recorded that conversation, we were able to decode negative sentence patterns in there that were effectively being transferred to the daughter, which they had not even realized. So anything that you experience, anything that you feel, anything that you have in your soul at a memory level, a cellular level, an emotional level, an intellectual level, when you communicate outwardly to each other as parents or to your children, it literally becomes they're a blank canvas. It becomes their whole belief system. So the more that you are communicating a set of distorted beliefs or wounded beliefs, or don't do that because of this, or don't do that because of this, or this happened to me because of my parents, or when I was young, and we use that kind of language in such a way that it makes our kids go, oh, and they feel fear attached to, for example, money. I feel fearful now because mummy told me this or daddy told me this about money. As a parent, without realizing it, we are controlling them. I remember we're controlling them with our beliefs. What I mean is they don't have a set of beliefs. They are developing those beliefs, and they do it through basically the concept of modeling and association, listening, and just being around us. They just become us, mini versions of us. So I was at a parent evening about 3 years ago, and it was a workshop, and it was about understanding your children's behaviour patterns. And I was just obviously there as a parent, even though I do a lot of this work in large groups. I just wanted to be there and learn. I was like, I want to be a parent. I want to find out what I can do to be a better parent. And this lady was like, I'm really anxious about this because my son, he gets really stressed and anxious about the tiniest little things. And I sit there and I say to him, be careful of this and be careful of that. And I'm just worried that he's, everything he does, he's very, very anxious. And I was worried about this just last week. And in fact, I remember talking to another parent, and I got really worried about the fact that she was saying this about her son. And I was watching her, and she had not appreciated at all that her anxiety was oozing out of her, every single pore in her body, to such an extent that her son had become a mini version of her. And now she's looking at him, saying she's anxious and worried about his behaviour. But in fact, we're just mirrors, and they're mirrors back to us. So the first thing is you've got to take a look at your own core beliefs and values. And if you've never done that before, a couple of things you can do. Go and have a look on YouTube and look up Elite Mind Engineer. You'll probably find some videos that I've done there, which essentially are focusing people on understanding some of your core values. Alternatively, keep a plug into the Growth Tribes, the podcast, because it is a subject that we are covering on the Growth Tribes. Thirdly, if you want to read about it, certainly in the book I wrote in 2011, I have 2 chapters, one dedicated to values and understanding your core values or where you are right now, and the other one on beliefs. It's not time I've got to do into this. I haven't got time to do this right now, but if you go and read that process, you can actually understand and redesign your core beliefs and your core values as well. Excuse me for knocking my elbow there. So that's the first thing. Now, look, the other thing to do is, and please get your pen out and write this stuff down.